Yo, boys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is Josh Talks Sports. And in today's video, same day, we are going to be talking about something that I honestly didn't foresee coming, but has been in the murmurs now and is very real. Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics and these trade rumors slash bubbling slash almost traded things that have been happening around the Boston Celtics. So let's kind of go through this article. So if you guys haven't been updated in the sports world, Giannis Antetokounmpo was just traded away to the Miami Heat, but the Boston Celtics were in on this, and they were honestly looking to move Jaylen Brown if it meant getting Giannis, but obviously it fell through. And as you guys see in this article here posted by Andrew Peters of Bleacher Report, that they were actively engaged after the failed Giannis deal. And as you guys see here, and then in this video too, that the Boston Celtics, they were unable to trade Jaylen Brown to the Bucks for Giannis, and they are still open to trading their former Finals MVP. Now, what I heard the rumored trade package was Jaylen Brown and 2 first-round picks for Giannis. I kind of want to get into Jaylen Brown's just situation, like what his contract looks like, what the Celtics look like, and why they so badly are trying to get rid of Jaylen Brown. So Jaylen Brown is currently in the middle of a 5-year, $304 million Supermax with the Boston Celtics, and it runs through the 2028-29 season. He has no player or team option on the deal, and he is slated to become a UFA in 2029. Now, this is kind of the breakdown of the contract. He is set to make $57 million this year, $64 million next year, and $69 million. So as you guys see, it continues to go up and up and up. He is eligible for a 2-year lucrative extension because he's entering the latter half of his Supermax, so this would keep him through the 2030-31 season. So my theory, honestly, is I think partially they want to trade him because they do not want to pay him again because they have him and Tatum. Now, if we're going to kind of get into the situation of what they have going on, there's something I did want to show you guys. Okay, so this is the roster for the Boston Celtics currently. They have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who are their 2 highest paid guys. They have Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Nikola Vucevic, Neemias Quetta, Hugo Gonzalez, Bradley Sherman, Luka Garza, Jordan Ross. So you guys see the roster. They were not the best team this year. Tatum obviously was out with an ACL injury, but they did blow a 3-1 lead in the playoffs. And they are very top-heavy right now and do not have a lot of room to spend. So that is one of my reasonings. I think they want to trade away Jaylen Brown. Now, as you guys see, Jaylen Brown, he averaged this year, career year, I'm pretty sure, 28, 7, and 5, and was pretty efficient doing so. If we check in his year-to-year, yes, these are the most. He's had a 6 points per game drop increase. Obviously, Jason Tatum was out, so he was the clear number 1 option. So this was his best year. He was actually 6th in MVP voting, was an All-Star, and made 2nd team All-NBA. Now, as you guys know, when they won the NBA Finals a couple years ago, he obviously won the Finals MVP, which, had its controversy because they were like, okay, well, since he won it over Tatum, is he better than Tatum, right? Tatum was obviously out this year. So, kind of getting into some of these articles, as we're going to see from Bleacher Report, there was a new trade rumor that came out today that I wanted to kind of get into, that the Celtics are interested in Evan Mobley from the Cavaliers. So, they failed to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, as we all know, but they're still trying to use Jaylen Brown as a trade candidate, as they're looking to, I guess, shake up their roster. And it is said that they are headhunting, in a report I saw earlier, for a big man. So, it is looking like they are interested in Evan Mobley, but they are not totally sure if they'd be able to pull off this deal. The Cavaliers, it is said, they are over the second apron, and there are ways to help them get under the threshold. And they did trade away their pick in this year, in the first round this year, to the Kings for 2 second rounders to help them save money. So it is saying that James Harden could potentially turn down his deal that will lower his salary and kind of help them out. So I feel like this is a trade that could happen, but I just don't know how I like that for the Cavs. But I actually kind of like that for the Celtics. They can go get Evan Mobley, who is a rim protector. He's been a very consistent player throughout his career. He is obviously a defensive player of the year. He won last year, 2-time all-defensive team, 1-time All-NBA, 1-time All-Star, and All-Rookie team. So he is a serviceable big, which they could indefinitely use with Tatum coming back if we're going to get a better version of Tatum. Tatum, in the last year that he played, he did come back this year, don't get me wrong. He averaged 21, 10, and 5, and he also, on his career, averaged 23, 7, and 3. So it just seems like it's time to move on from Jaylen Brown. Now, I kind of want to get into some trade destinations that this article by Sam Quinn, who he believes are the best landing spots for Jaylen Brown. And number one, we do have the Houston Rockets. Now, why this is interesting that they are suitors, because their former coach, Ego Udoka, used to be the head coach of the Boston Celtics. And the only player that really they would not be willing to trade would be a man. So they could potentially trade away Alperen Sengun, who is their current starting center. Is a really good player, really young, and I feel like he's getting better and better each year. And I think this would be a good move for the Celtics because they could save so much money. As you guys see, he makes $23 million less than Brown, which is huge. Ton of money. But he obviously is not the best jump shooter. So we can get into the next scenario. We have the Portland Trailblazers, which they were viewed as the facilitator for the Giannis to Boston trade for picks wise, but curious if Boston would potentially be interested in Scoot Henderson or even Donovan Clingan, who is a young rim protector at the ripe height of 7'2", or even Tuamani Kamara, which is a young wing defender. I think with Brown's salary, it says here that this could be a potential move, but who knows? Next, we do have the San Antonio Spurs. They're another team that was linked to Jaylen Brown. Now, I don't know who the Spurs would be willing to give up if it's De'Aaron Fox, because they're not trading away Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, and Victor Wembanyama. So my thought here they would have to move off of Fox and probably, like it says here, Champagnie and Bryant for this to happen. But I don't know if Boston would be willing to play ball with that. And then the Pelicans, which is another team that have been heavily linked in the recent days due to Trey Murphy and them trying to trade him. They could definitely look into getting Trey Murphy and potentially even adding in Herbert Jones or maybe even Zion Williamson, which would be an interesting fit to see Tatum and Williamson. I think Williamson is still a really good player. He started to show better durability over the last couple of years and could really be a attacker at the rim, which could allow Tatum to kind of be free. So I would like that. I think that would be a great destination. And next, we have the the Atlanta Hawks, which Brown is from there, so this would be nice for him to go back home. Now, it looks like they would potentially have to send players away like Onyeka Okongwu and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who had a career year as well, because Jalen Johnson should be untouchable. He had a great year. But they also could have traded him before the draft. It's obviously after the draft because they had the number 8 overall pick. So that would have been a trade. I feel like that would have happened pre-draft. And then next we have the Nuggets, which they have Brown for Jamal Murray, which is interesting because Brown's on 35%, Max is on. Okay, so they could potentially be traded 1-for-1, or they could try to send somebody like Payne Watson, And Christian Braun is another guy that they could take. So that was the last of that article, and I think we pretty much handled everything else in this video. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little brief and what you guys thought about this Jaylen Brown trade rumor, because it's been heavy on a lot of people's minds and seems like it is inevitably going to happen, and I will have a video that will drop covering that if it does indeed happen. So let me know what you guys think. Where would you guys like to see Jaylen Brown end up? Celtics fans, would you guys like to keep Jaylen Brown, or are you guys okay with the idea of moving on from Jaylen Brown? This is very interesting, as the Celtics, they just won a championship a couple years ago, so they did handle business, and I think Jaylen Brown is ready to hold the mount of being the number one option, having his own team without having to share with his co-star Jason Tatum, who it is perceived he is the face of the franchise for the Boston Celtics. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Make sure you guys leave a sub, leave a like, comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.